When I walked into this sanctuary, when I came through these doors back here, I just was in amazement. I mean, I was dazzled by the stained glass windows, the wood pews, the slate floor, the stone walls, the high arcing ceilings and all of this woodwork, the architecture in here. I've had builders today, contractors, tell me if you tried to build this building, you couldn't find the craftsmen today to build it if you look around at the stonework and the woodwork. So when I walked in here, I thought, man, in a week's time, I could bring a dozen volunteers in here and clean this place up and be ready to have church. But when we turned the other direction and walked back into the education part of the building, the 3 stories back here, there's 35,000 square feet of building here. When you walked into the back part back here, it was trashed, vandalized, needles and syringes used laying on the floor, unmentionables laying on the floor, garbage, trash, sinks had been torn off the walls in the bathrooms, mirrors shattered, windows broken. It was totally vandalized because some of the homeless had broken in here and had trashed this building. I've met homeless people who say to me, I hear you're opening our old home. And I'll say, what do you mean opening your old home? And one guy said to me, well, I was one of the first to break into that building and we used to live in it. And he said other people would follow me into that building. It really became our home. He said at one time there were 30 or 40 people living in there, maybe more. And he said, but I was one of the first. And he said, as people would come in to join us and find out how we had gotten in, we would tell them, hey, there's plenty of space back here in these 3 floors to set up residence and stake your claim and live wherever you want to live. Do your own thing. But the front part of this building is God's house. And if you mess with it, you'll have us to mess with. You'll have us to deal with. And we will deal with you. So they evidently protected this front part of the building. Because, I mean, it was as different as night and day when you walked in here looking at the sanctuary and looking at the back part of the building.